You've probably seen a video like this before.
Mix lemon with garlic and you will never have to go to the doctor again. I haven't been sick for 35 years with this natural antibiotic. To start, we're going to need ginger, red onion. We will also need the garlic.
And being an East Indian, born and raised in the West Indies, on a small island called Trinidad, it was hard to escape the bush tea and the homemade remedies that used to look a lot like this. I used to hate drinking these things when I was younger. And I used to always ask the question, why we just don't cook some food with these ingredients and eat it? And everybody used to laugh at me for even asking that question, because you're not supposed to ask that question. Well, after years of studying nutrition, and not just for fun and for fitness, but to literally save my life from stage 4 bone marrow cancer, I here to tell you that you absolutely can cook with these ingredients. And when you do that, you don't just get similar benefits, you get even greater benefits than you would have by just juicing or boiling and making a tea out of these ingredients. And let me tell you how. When you boil all these ingredients in a pot to make a homebrew tea, the ginger, the onion, garlic, everything, right? A lot of the water-soluble nutrients get absorbed into the water. That is why it get a color, the pigmentation that it get, and that is why it tastes like the onion or the ginger that you're using, because those compounds have been moved into the liquid. But here's the thing with certain nutrients, right? Like vitamin C and antioxidants. These things break down quickly with heat. So by the time you boil this tea for a good, let me say 5, 10, 15 minutes, a lot of that nutrients just gone. It just get dissolved. Then we have a lot of other things like the minerals and the fibers. These don't get absorbed into the water. So things like potassium, calcium, magnesium, all these things they are not water soluble, so they don't get absorbed into the water when you make that brew. They actually stay behind in the solid that most people, if not all, throw away. You know, like the dregs from the tea. Most of those minerals and fibers in there. So you actually train away most of the good nutrients there. So yes, if you make this homebrew tea, you're going to get some plant compounds in there, but the majority of it going to be wasted. Now let me talk detox. And you see the look on my face, because this is one of the most overused and nonsensical words in marketing. It's basically a marketing scheme, right? If you want to talk detox, your body already prepared for that. Your body has systems in place for that. Your liver, your kidneys, your skin. Unless you have serious organ failure, all of these are working all the time to pull toxins out of your body. That don't mean that these ingredients are useless. Onion and garlic have sulfur compounds that support liver enzyme. Ginger helps reduce inflammation. Basil have antioxidants. Cayenne pepper could increase inflammation, and studies shows that it also increases your metabolic rate. And honey can soothe irritation and is good for your stomach. But these things support your body's natural process. They don't replace them in any way or anyhow. And you're going to get those exact same support compounds, even in greater amounts, if you opt to eat the foods. Eat the ingredients as opposed to juice them or opposed to boil them and make a homebrew tea. So what about the mucus? Because people claim that these teas help reduce or get rid of all the mucus in your chest and your sinuses and everything, right? Mucus be gone. That's what you could call these remedies. Drinking any hot liquid helps thin mucus. So that is why you're getting a relief. Whether it's soup, tea, coffee, hot water, drinking a hot liquid actually thins mucus. So that is why you get an instant relief. Spices like cayenne pepper and all these other spices that they tell you to add, these can trigger irritation that will force the body to produce more fluids. Once again, making the mucus more thin, making it run out your body. And the honey literally soothes your throat and reduces the irritation that you get, that scratchy feeling, that itchy feeling in your throat. So yes, making and drinking that tea might give you some relief in the short term, but that is more about the temperature of the liquid that you're drinking and the immediate soothing effect that it's giving you. And in the same sense, right? Because remember, you're drinking either a tea or a juice with no macronutrient value. If you were to take all these ingredients, your lemon, cayenne pepper, onion, ginger, and you make a spicy ginger and onion chicken soup in a broth, right? And you drink that, you're going to get the same effects that you would have from the tea, but greater, because now you're going to have a full macronutrient profile with it. You're going to have fats, you're going to have carbs, you're going to have proteins. And these are the carriers that ensure that these things get to where you need to go. So you're not only getting the benefit from drinking the tea, if you go with the soup or something like that, you're actually getting the benefit from eating the whole food, the whole ingredient, plus the macronutrient profile. So you're getting a nutrient-dense base meal as opposed to drinking some tea or having a juice. Let me break this down for you, right? Here is where eating the food actually win against drinking the tea. Let me go over it. When you cook a meal with onion, ginger, garlic, basil, honey, lemon, everything that we talk about, everything that they're telling you to make the tea with in the video, right? When you make a meal with that, let me say a soup, you're not just sipping on dissolved leftovers, because remember, you're throwing away all the major ingredients, right? All the vegetables getting thrown away. You're not just sipping on residuals. What you're doing is you're actually getting the phytonutrients that didn't leach into the water, the minerals and fibers that stay in the whole food, the synergy of nutrients working together, especially when combined with protein, carbs, and healthy fats from your meal. Now think of it like this, right? Satiation and what is better for you overall. Drinking a cup of boiled water with a piece of ginger in it, or eating a chicken ginger stir fry, a ginger chicken stir fry. Which one better for you overall? Especially whether or not you're feeling good or you have some kind of virus or whatever going on that giving you all this mucus in your body. Obviously it's the meal, right? You're going to get more nutrients, more micronutrients, more calories for recovery, overall more benefits. So why are we still doing this? Why are we still indulging in this fad? Let me tell you why. Convenience. When you're not feeling good, it's easier to just put a kettle on the stove or just plug in the electric kettle and just, you know what I mean? Put 2 pieces of ginger and some lemon or whatever, then rather than cooking an entire meal. It's cheaper too. That is one reason why people still do that. The comfort, a warm drink, right? And it is the comfort too, because you want that comforting, warm, soothing drink, but you don't want to go through the process of actually making a meal. The biggest kicker, and this is the one that have all our families still doing this in the Caribbean, well, who families still doing this, the placebo effect. Thinking just because it tasting medicinal, it working like a medicine. In most cases, I would say yes, but I drink a Kool-Aid soda the other day that was a grape flavored, and I swear I was drinking a bottle of a Buckley's or Robitussin straight from the bottle. So again, not everything that tastes medicinal is medicinal, or you're not getting the full benefits that you could get from it. Honestly, the bottom line is these kind of detox teas with your ginger and your lemon and your cayenne pepper, they're not dangerous once you manage your doses. Because cayenne pepper is something you don't want to overdo it when you're drinking with that tea. Imagine you're drinking cayenne pepper. You're boiling cayenne pepper and drinking it. To me, that is just mind-blowingly numb. I don't know. But you really want to make sure that you know your portion sizes when you're doing these things. You don't want to overdo it with any one ingredient. Watch the honey, especially if you're diabetic or you're pre-diabetic. You don't want to overdo it with the honey also when you're using these things. And if you could, and I know Caribbean people, we have a tendency, like all our meals, like our green seasoning is gold, because our green seasoning that we make consists of all these things. The basil leaf, ginger, garlic, shadow benny, chive, thyme. So when we season chicken or meat or whatever, the pot that we cook in it, when we season with that, we already getting the benefits from these things. So juicing something or making a tea with it is really just putting yourself in pain. It's not really doing much for you. And if you enjoy it, because I know like people like my mother, she really love drinking a ginger tea. And ginger tea, real good, it's soothing, right? If you have a lot of mucus in your throat, it will make it come out. Trust me, it will make it come out, but it's not a cleanse. It's not a detox. You're not detoxing your body and mucus. It's just making the mucus that troubling you thinner and allowing it to come out of your system. So in that instance, by all means, go ahead, use it. But then again, it has like a cascading effect, because a lot of people, especially in the Caribbean, Trinidad, right? You love drinking your ginger tea, you love drinking your fever grass tea, but you can't drink that by itself. And what I mean, like how Chinese people will drink the tea. Just brew the ingredients in water and have it just like that. You put a ton of sugar, milk, all these kind of extra ingredients in it to make it taste better, so that it could go down. Just like with the honey, you want to be careful with how you're using the sugar and all these kind of things, right? You don't want to put yourself in a different state where you had to worry about things like diabetes now. So my 2 cents: try your best to keep cooking, or if you don't, try your best to start cooking with these ingredients. Season all your meats with ginger, garlic, onions, shadow benny, as much good healthy herbs and seasons as you could get. And basically everything that you're seeing in these videos that these people telling you make a tea and drink. Well, let me know your take. I know a lot of Caribbean people are going to be vexed with me for saying this, because they love the bush tea, they love the bush remedies, and to be honest, as far as they see, it just work for them. Now, I'm going to issue a challenge, right? That is debatable. It's working for us because we eat these foods in all our cooking. All our foods have these ingredients in it. So the extra bush tea that you're drinking, not giving it that edge. It really not. Don't come for me. I just telling you what it is, right? Don't come for me. You could do what you want. I just say, if you think you get some information from this video that's useful, you could go ahead and like the video. If you don't like what I say, hit the dislike button twice to make sure that I know you don't like it, right? Let me know in the comments whether or not you think eating these foods better than actually drinking the tea. It's scientifically better, but let me know what you think. Your personal opinion, right? Just don't come for me. Right? I'm gonna see everybody in the next one. It's Mongdal. Later. Don't forget to subscribe.